Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. I have always cherished the words of my father since I was young. He used to say to me, "O Labib, every step you take to the mosque is witnessed by the road, and your feet will bear witness for you on the day of resurrection." This hadith has always stuck in my heart, and my father would quote the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, who said, "Whoever performs ablution in his house, then walks to one of the houses of Allah to fulfill a duty from Allah, one of his steps will erase a sin, and the other will raise his rank." I firmly believed in these words, and I began to see the path to the mosque as if it witnessed everything I did. As a child, I thought that the pen and papers would testify for me just as my steps did. Therefore, every Friday, I was keen to write my thoughts in diaries. Writing was a way for me to document this testimony, and I believed that every word I wrote would not be forgotten. Today, my friends, I have decided to share with you some of these diaries and thoughts that I wrote as a small child. I will start today with the first thoughts of Friday, and I invite you to listen with me to these remembrances that still hold dear memories in my heart. The Friday was a different day for us at home. I woke up as usual, but today something felt special. The first thing I heard was my mother saying, "Come on, hero, today is Yawm al-Jum'ah." I didn't quite understand why this day was important, but everything at home seemed different on Friday. The first thing we did was read Surah Al-Kahf. My father would sit in his usual chair, open his Quran, and my brother and I would repeat after him. I still stumbled on some verses, but I tried. And I loved the way my father would say, "It's okay, you'll improve soon." There was a calmness in the house during this time. Everyone was reading softly, as if we were in a world of our own. After that came the preparation for prayer. I loved this part, not just because we went to the mosque, but because my father let me choose my clothes. "Today is Jumu'ah prayer. You must look smart," he would say with a smile. I carefully selected my clothes as if I were going to a grand event. Now, on our way to the mosque, I held my father's hand, feeling strong beside him. Inside the mosque, everything felt so majestic. The Imam would speak about the stories of the Prophet ﷺ and about heaven and hell. I didn't understand everything, but I loved the Imam's voice. Sometimes I would close my eyes and imagine the things he was describing. After the prayer, we would sit for a while. My father would say, "Pray to Allah now. This is a time of acceptance." So I would close my eyes and pray. I didn't always know what to say, but I prayed for my mother, my brother, and my friends. I loved this moment. It felt like a private conversation with Allah. When we returned home, there was always a special smell. My mother would have prepared lunch. I loved the Friday meal. It was always different. Sometimes it was kabsa, other times fish, but it was always delicious. We would all sit around the table, talking about everything. Sometimes I laughed, sometimes I just listened quietly to the adults' conversations. After lunch, I would sit with my father to listen to prophetic hadiths. He would explain each hadith to me, and it felt like I was in a special school. This was my favorite time. I loved how my father made everything easy to understand, even if the words seemed complicated. Then came the evening. I loved Maghrib time. I would sit by the window, watching the sun disappear. This time always made me reflect on the day. I would think about what I had done, what my father had said, and I would hold on to these memories because they made me happy. At the end of the day, when it was time for bed, I would carry all these memories with me. Friday had always been a special day. My mother would say, "Sleep now and get ready for tomorrow." But I would lie there, thinking about everything I had experienced, and smile, knowing that the next Jumu'ah would be even better. And still to this day, I wait for Jumu'ah, believing that it will always be better, and that Allah will shower us with His blessings on this great day. Finally, I remind myself and you of what the Prophet ﷺ said, "O Allah, I ask you for guidance, piety, chastity, and sufficiency." May peace be upon the beloved Prophet ﷺ. If you've reached the end of this episode with me, I hope you will send blessings upon the Prophet and ulama in the comments. And we ask Allah to make every Jumu'ah for us good and blessed. Thank you. اللهم اجعل صلاتنا على نبيك نورا في قلوبنا ورحمة على أرواحنا وهدى لخطانا. آمين. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.